Aloha friends. It's Leah. I'm at the ocean. I wanted to tell you something kind of interesting I wanted to share with you. For starters, my computer got broken. I opened it up and a ton of water fell out of it. So I have a new Dell. Can't afford a Mac yet, but it's a beautiful 17-inch. Beautiful computer, brand new, coming in the mail. Really excited. It'll really work, get me more inspired with my activism. I just want to let you guys know I found it really bizarre. I went out and saw this supposed, GMO expert, and you all know what GMO is. It's gene splicing techniques of biotechnology, which is, splicing different species of animal, human, plant DNA and combining them, and they become very unstable genes for viral, bacterial infections, biowarfare, genetic mutation. It's going on big time right now. And I just want to say it's really important that we realize that the Chemclouds work hand in hand with the GMO, genetically modified organisms. They are also in the Chemclouds and mixed in with the nanotech and all the metals and all the viral, bacterial, GMOs that are working hand in hand with the GMO time-released injections from the vaccines. I mean, it's so crazy right now. If you go to Safeway, it's like 15% off your entire family for like a week of groceries. They want you to get vaccinated so damn bad that they're willing to give you 15% off your groceries. I think it's really, I wanted to say the reason I bring up the combination being really important, that people know that as much about GMO as they do the Chemclouds, because if you don't know how bad and severe the Chemclouds are, you cannot read how severe the poisoning is, how severe the brainwashing is, and how much they are absolutely one. And it's kind of dangerous. You have these so-called GMO experts out of Hawaii that I think are dangerous, because I went up to a guy that got sent here by a guy named Bruce and a guy named Joe, and they work out of Mandala. Bless their hearts, but this guy to me was very arrogant. They're all woo, whoop-de-doo on this guy, and I thought, okay, I go see him, and I'm going to see what he's not saying, not so much what he's saying, because I already know a lot about bioengineering and genetic mutation, genetic engineering. I've been studying it a lot, and I'll tell you right now that the Chemclouds work hand in hand with getting us poisoned, just like GMO. You can take the GMO crops away, but I'll tell you right now, it's not going to stop the poisoning of these genetically modified organisms. They're being injected in the vaccines. They're being laid upon our water supply on every island where the valleys and the mountains meet. Precisely, these big plasmic layers are being laid on top of our drinking water so that they infect us, so that we become contaminated. We become able to track through breathing this invisible, I call it nanotech. It's basically, we are brainwashing a commercial, we are breathing a commercial intelligence that is being able to be tapped into us through these viral, bacterial mutations that are being injected into us through these vaccines, as well as what we breathe. They're combusting over time and making sure that we all break down our immune systems. They get weak. We all get cancer, either of the breast, of the genitals, of, the colon, of the brain, heart, lungs, somewhere, it's always cancer. Look it up, cancer business, it'll blow your mind. I read something about it, and they said, this one nurse came out and she said, I began to wake up, and when you realize all these nurses, you start to wake up, but what are you going to do when they have all these millions of dollars of all of these x-ray machines that she said do cause cancer? Oh, they get all these women scared to death to go get mammograms once a year, and they actually cause cancer, and then they make a lot of money on the whole breast cancer scam, just like AIDS. AIDS is a biological warfare. It's a viral, bacterial gene, a mutated combination of very sinister genes that they have created in a lab, and they're making it look like it's some human-created fabrication. No, it's lab masterminded, actually. And I can't begin to tell you that you can't go out and... Let me finish my story, get back to the guy in Paia, supposed, master. He gets up, and I go up, and I thought, I got to talk to this guy at the end. So I go and I talk to him. I walk up to him, and I say, hey, brother, I want to talk to you about the Chemclouds. I didn't hear you really cover that. And he goes, hey, that's two totally different subjects, he says to me. I said, are you out of your mind? I'm thinking, this guy had 300 people show up. He could have been a voice for the islands, suffering valleys and trees and birds, and all the beautiful, sacred, old, ancient Hawaiian plants are dying off. The reefs are deteriorating. I mean, this is seriously, we are in a bad shape. All the water is being redirected from the waterfalls. My gosh, I was grown up here. They disappeared, the waterfalls. There's only like 7 pools because they make money. They got to have a few for the tourists. But I mean, on the way to Hana, there used to be about 30 different waterfalls. You go by, what is there, 3? I mean, it's seriously, something is wrong. And when you realize that, when you look at the skies and you realize that the GMO crops, they kind of actually like us all obsessing on them, because they're taking your attention down to the ground again. Get them away from the big plasmic sheets of weaponized genocide that I film constantly. They're on my channel, YouTube here. I'm going to load this one. It'll come up probably looking a little different from my phone. But I had to let you guys know that GMO right now works with the Chemclouds, because we breathe the Chemclouds in. And they do everything from disease control to brainwashing control, mood control, weather control, earthquake, tectonic warfare. I can't begin to tell you what these Chemclouds do. They're trying to push it off like they're these big feathery obvious ones. Look at the sky. Can you see it? You can't even see the moon. The moon is full and is covered in this mackerel Chemcloud. Jeez, I wish I could show it to you. It's horrific. You can't even see the moon. This should be a completely crystal clear full moon. I am standing under it. Hail, Mother Mary, full of grace, beloved Goddess of Earth. Open your hearts to us. We receive you and breathe you in. We thank you for all that you give to us, beloved Earth Mother, beloved Moon Goddess. We pray to you. Good God, if you could see, it's like a mackerel. They're all broken up. They look like big pieces of cotton candy. It's the saddest thing. I can't tell you. Anyway, I want to say, again, back to this guy who came. You don't come and teach about GMO and not talk about the Chemclouds. Not when you've got 300 people there thirsty The GMO, if they want you getting all hung up, they have these big shots that walk around all impressed with getting familiarity and notoriety, and it's about power and knowledge. I went to a gathering by Bruce and Joe from Mandala, and they're like all underground acting so cool. I showed up and they had a bunch of kiss-assers bless me to say, God bless them, I want peace, but they don't want it. I showed up, I was so above all these people there, and they started to get so insecure and made it me. And they had these ass-kisser chicks that were probably menopausal in their 50s, and man, they were looking at me so evil. I was like a pit of snakes. They walk around like they're in the light. Anybody who doesn't support Brutal Truth Media Maui, I'm on my 3rd YouTube. You ask Truther Girl, she knows I've been around forever. You know, there's people that know I've been around. My friends, my top friends know I've been around for over a decade. They know it. And here I am looking at all these newbies just want power and control, and they don't want anything to do with me. That's a sure sign. I go to the mainland in California, anywhere I go through Mexico, people listen to me. Santa Cruz, got a lot of respects. Mount Shasta, San Diego, everywhere I went and visited. I come to Maui, it's a bunch of arrogance. They want to shut me out because I'm powerful. I run an incredible site I'm never on, yet people still get to my videos. I'm getting a new computer, things are going to change. And I'm working on my CD finally. I've got a promoter, a producer, money behind me. Things are getting so good. Fairy metal is going to come to the world. I feel so lucky to be gifted. It took me 25 years, 30 years of writing since I was very young. Poetry, playing guitar as a child. I call it fairy metal because it's where the dark forest meets the fairies around the fire. And it's dark and spooky and poetic, and yet it's dark and heavy on the power chords. Just plug it into a half stack and a Marshall. This gives me, say, a Les Paul with some distortion. That's going to sound insane. Sounds amazing as it is. I will add some distortion to my chunky parts, but I like it acoustic. It makes it grounded to the earth. For those of you who love my music, know I'm working on it. I'm moving right now. So many things are changing for me, so hang in there, because I promise the CD is getting worked on as we speak. I've actually paid, got money. I've been paying this person. So listen, to record me in a real studio so that I can just be professional. But listen, I love you all. I want to tell you right now, GMO is only part of the problem. All these artificial, now the Philippines, all these artificial generated storms, they make a lot of money, in media coverage. They're able to do a lot of testing, grabbing the belief system of the world and the attention of the world. They test things out. I'm telling you, they're masterminding something so huge with Project Bluebeam and all these artificial clouds, artificial, all the UFOs people think that are, terrestrial. I'd say 80% of them, not 90, are our military. They know how to hover, they know how to, they got their hands. I don't want to call it alien technology. I like to call it suppressed technology, but this is Palladian level intelligence. They've got being invisible down. The whole weaponization of space is alive and kicking. The media keeps you in a fishbowl, unaware, deliberately kept in the dark so that we can all die of diseases. It makes, and they're deliberately caused so they can make a ton of money with all these cancer supposed saving centers that are all put there by the same people causing, creating these genetic mutations. Anyway, I just want to tell you how much it means to me to have you guys there for me. I want to tell you right now, remember, genetically modified organisms or the splicing of DNA from animal, plant species. It's like genetic mutation. They can do it. All that crap is in the Chemclouds. It's already in the water. They've been doing it a long time, since the 30s. if they take a few crops away, it's not going to stop GMO. So all these big shots are running around like, you know, Bruce and Joe, like they can stop GMO. They're not like this speaker. They're not covering the huge, thick slabs of weaponized genocide right above our drinking water that I do in my videos. The fact that they won't include those, there's something wrong. I'll call them dark entities, egomaniacs who would not support Brutal Truth Media Maui that covers the suffering, poor nature. The beautiful skies on Maui are mutated. They wouldn't support me. Something is wrong. Remember, take away the crops, act like the big shots, you guys. They're all thinking they're so cool. Big island, we're gonna get the crops to stop. Hey, why don't you mention there's no stopping the poisoning of the water supply, which goes to all of the farmland, all the fruit, still getting everything, all the coffee, it's still gonna get poisoned water that's been completely genetically modified and turned into biological warfare. Yeah. They want you to focus on those damn crops because, you know, you'll be looking at the ground thinking you're solving GMO. Meanwhile, the sky is completely milk white. You can't even see the moon because of the Chemclouds. And then the Chemclouds on top of the water supply are 1,000 feet up right there, right on top of the ridges, right in our rainwater. Not stopping that. God has to intervene and you got to wake up. Include the Chemclouds. Otherwise, you have no right to go up and preach about GMO when these crops have been genetically mutated to adapt to the Chemclouds so that they can empower each other to withstand, you know, they become bionic crops. Well, you know, the Chemclouds give them the juju. They work hand in hand. You cannot, you know, they're the carriers, the conjunctors of all that scalar energy. They activate and mutate the genes, that the viral genetic mutations get activated in the sun. They've all been masterminded scientifically to combust over a certain period of time. This stuff is masterminded in labs with mad-minded scientists, dark entities that don't give a damn about our health. They make money on our sickness. Anyway, I love you. Wake the hell up. I love you all.